Hello, welcome everyone. Okay, I've just unmuted everyone.
You're welcome to come in.
Can everyone hear me okay? We're going to wait just a couple more minutes to allow a couple other people to join. But welcome everyone, if you can hear me. There's a little chat icon at the bottom of the screen. So if you're having trouble hearing me, please feel free to type in the chat box and let me know.
No, it's not that one, is it? It's this one.
We're actually going to test out the chat box right now. So I'm going to share the link to the PowerPoint for today. So this will be our little trial, see if it works. So I'll be sharing my screen with the PowerPoint, but you'll also be able to have this PowerPoint for yourself as we're working today in breakout groups. I'll share that. Okay, just share the link. Should pop up in your group chat.
So do what now, chat? What am I supposed to share?
Well, you better do that pretty fast.
Okay. I'm going to okay. Someone from Wiggins said got it, thanks. So that's good. Okay. Some people are opening it. I see it. Perfect. Yay. I'm glad it's working. So we're going to go over in just a second some of the Zoom norms for the SEL forums that we'll be meeting on. So you might have noticed, ooh, Heather got it. Woohoo. Glad that you guys are getting it. You might have noticed that I actually had everyone muted when we first joined the meeting for today. So when we meet monthly for these forums, we're going to have everyone join in muted. But you'll notice on the right-hand side, there's an option to look at participants. So at I think the icon with the people, it says participants. If you click on that, then you can unmute yourself.
Probably right.
And then there's also a way that you can, if you click the button, there's a mute option as well. So let me share my screen with everyone. And we'll go ahead and get started. And I see a couple of people in there, so that's great. Nice. So we just heard from Kristen. So there's also a way on Zoom that you can press your spacebar to unmute yourself. So I'm going to mute everyone now, and then we'll test it out. And then also, if you guys are able, we would love to see everyone. So if you do have video on your Zoom, we'd love to see you guys. I think as of now, you can just see myself and my colleague, Anna. But please feel free to share your video with us so that we can see you guys.
Okay.
Okay. Another person in the chat. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to our first SEL local forum. Thank you so much for participating today. We are going to get started. So once a month, all partner school districts that we're working with implementing social emotional learning will have the opportunity to connect, share resources and ideas in the community space, and problem solve collaboratively toward ensuring every student receives SEL support. So we really wanted to provide a space for all of you to be able to connect and network. And we're constantly iterating on these forums. We're going to be doing them monthly. So we really want to hear from you all about your feedback and how these forums are going, because we want to make sure that they're as intentional as possible. So as we work through our SEL forums each month, this is going to be the general structure of the forums. So we're going to start out with some introductions. Who is on the call? We're going to have some kind of topic focus. So we're either going to have a shared resource or a speaker. We're going to have breakout sessions to cover either a topic or a problem of practice that you all share with us. We'll have a wrap-up closing and then some follow-up information. So before we dive in, some Zoom norms. So we talked about this a little bit. So right now everyone's muted. If you hold down your space bar, you should be able to talk. So if someone wants to try that right now, go ahead. You just say hello.
Hello.
Yay!
I'm holding the space bar.
Hi, Tracy. Hi, Ashley. Okay, so it seems like it's working for some people. That's great. You can also click on the unmute button as well if you just hover over your name. We have been testing out the chat box a little bit, so there's a way that you can select everyone or private. So everyone will, of course, go to everyone in the group, and then private, if you just wanted to send me a message individually or someone else in the group, you're able to do that. Please feel free to type in the chat box for any questions or comments that you have. And then later today, we're actually going to be trying out breakout rooms within Zoom. So we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Okay. Any other questions about the Zoom norms or the SEL forum structure before we dive in? Okay, great. So today we're actually going to start breaking down advocacy goals. And we're going to focus on the first one, which is developing and maintaining relationships. So our SEL forums, we just want to start out with covering sort of the basis of what is social emotional learning. So a lot of our program and the work that we do is driven by CASEL, the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning. And so we really take apart these 5 core competencies: understanding and managing emotions, set and achieving positive goals, feeling and showing empathy for others, establishing and maintaining positive relationships, which we're going to dive into today, and then last but not least, making responsible decisions. So first and foremost, I would like to know who else is on the call. So we're going to first start with our name, our school, our role, and then your why behind implementing advocacy and SEL. So we can just do sort of like a popcorn share, and we can test out the space bar, or you can just unmute yourself. And anyone who likes to start, and it'll be a quick wraparound just because I want to make sure we have enough time for the hour together. So just a quick minute on introducing yourself and your why behind SEL.
I'm Andrea Kammer. I'm from Holyoke Elementary. I'm the elementary principal. And my why is just how important it is to make sure our students are successful moving forward. We have to have this social emotional time.
Great. Thanks, Andrea.
So I'm Kristen. I work for South Central BOCES. I'm a school psychologist, and my why is just obviously I think mental health is just important as physical health. So anything I can do to strengthen that where I work.
Awesome.
I'm Denise Locke. I'm the principal, elementary principal at Levita, and the why is we started really using SEL last year and are continuing, and it is very important for our students to be able to grow.
Great.
My name's Heather Upton. I'm from Bennett Elementary School. I'm the K-3 social emotional specialist, and our why is we understand that if the social emotional needs of our children are not met, then we cannot reach their academic goals.
Anyone, but I'll deal with her next time.
Okay. You want me to take this back?
Okay, we have Christina just shared. I'm from Trinidad Middle School. We're implementing SEL this year to our 7th and 8th grade students. 6th grade students are receiving the Expect Respect curriculum. SEL is important due to the many dynamics of our students, families, and society in general. I'm happy to be here today. Welcome, Christina. Thanks for sharing in the chat. Anyone else like to share, introduce themselves?
I'm Pam. Can
Hi,
you hear
Pam.
me?
Yes,
Oh, good.
we can hear you.
I'm Pam Levy. I'm the principal at the Little Gardner School in Huerfano County. And our kids are participating in the GSN Random Acts of Kindness curriculum for the 2nd year. And our middle schoolers are participating in School Connect. And I'm glad to be here because I don't want kids to have to be in school without a social emotional learning time.
Great, thank you.
Yep. So I have a quick question. Is it,
of course.
who do you prefer that is here? Do you prefer that it's our school counselor, or do you prefer that it's me? Because I apologize, the school counselor couldn't be here today, but it was my impression you preferred him.
We would welcome anyone who is available to attend. So we highly encourage administrators, counselors, social workers, teachers, anyone who's available.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, great question. Anyone else on the call?
This is Robin Merrill from Salida High School, and
Nice.
Rob has our Y.
Because adversity is an important skill to learn to deal with.
Awesome. Welcome. Oh, we have another chat. Let's see. Okay. Okay, from Wiggins, I can hear you, but you can't hear me. Trent, superintendent at Wiggins. Welcome, Trent. We want to help reach all of our students, especially the ones being left behind academically. Okay. And it sounds like, okay, so timing, and we're actually going to talk about this at the end of today, about the timing of the forums. So a lot of teachers, this is probably a tricky time to join in. So we'll touch base on that at the end of this meeting about what time works best for everyone. Okay, anyone else on the call that we're missing? Hi. Oh, actually, you could probably just talk through here. Huh. But if you should be able to just talk to mine.
Okay. Hi, Shirley Smith, one of the GSN information coach. Just here to say hello and support you by any means necessary.
Thanks, Shirley. And then Kat, can you introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Kat. I am from General GSN as well, and I'm just here to help you guys basically.
And Kat, also, we're going to be talking about this later, where we're going to be including all of our resources and articles on a platform called Ning. And so we'll dive into that during the next meeting, but Kat is our guru of the Ning platform, and she'll be really helpful for any technology questions that you have moving forward. Okay, I think that is pretty much everyone. And if you didn't get a chance to introduce yourself, please feel free to type in the group chat and we'll announce as we go. But thank you guys again so much for being here. It's just so exciting to hear. I mean, I recognize a couple of voices and I have the opportunity to work with you all on the SEL implementation, but it's just so awesome to have everyone in one place virtually. And I just think that there's a lot that we could get out of these meetings and really working together and sharing new ideas and hearing about how that's going. So I'm very excited for this. So diving in, so we're going to now, sorry, I just want to move. Okay, today's agenda. So we're going to talk a little bit about our advocacy goals document, especially the first one around building relationships. We're going to watch a video called The Elephant, the Rider, and the Path. We're going to get into breakout groups. We're going to come back together and share any aha moments that we have, and then have a wrap up and closing. So first, we're going to dive into our Why Advocacy Research document. So if you have the PowerPoint, if you have access to that, you should be able to just click on this hyperlink and open up the document. I will also share it on my screen. So this document incorporates the 5 goals of advocacy. So the first one being develop and maintaining relationships, goal setting and monitoring, community referrals, SEL skill development, and then post-secondary readiness and planning. So the idea for these forums is we actually want to break apart each of these goals month to month. So today we're just going to dive into developing and maintaining relationships because we really feel like that's the foundation of all of our work. First and foremost, if we want students to be motivated to be in class, to want to learn, we really feel like it's important to develop those relationships with not only the teacher and the student, but also the student to student and the teacher to family. So we're going to talk about those connections when we're in breakout sessions today. Oh, Anna, great. I just heard from Anna to enlarge the document. Sorry about that, everyone. I'll zoom in a little bit. So this is what we'll be focusing on today, the developing and maintaining relationships. And so this is some research that we have behind it. So before we dive deeper, does anyone have just initial thoughts or anything that resonated with them from this section of the advocacy document? And I shared it with a few people that actually registered for the forum prior to this, so not everyone has been able to see this document, but just any initial thoughts that you have about this first goal of advocacy and SEL in general, feel free to share, and we'll just popcorn again. Or you can share in the group chat. And one person we actually didn't, Anna, do you mind briefly introducing yourself to the group? I think you might be muted.
My space bar didn't work. I'm Anna Hogberg, and I am an education specialist with GSN as well, and I work with a few of our advocates out in the schools. Now it's gonna...
She's frozen. Am I frozen?
And I think when you're in the school, you know, you think that they have all their teachers, they have other students, they have those connections just because in their building. But the reality is getting that relationship and just having that one person that they can connect with every day. And it only takes that one to already start seeing those successes. So that one definitely sticks out to me on there.
Okay, great. Thank you, Anna. And we'll give you guys some time to talk in groups, and then we'll share out loud afterwards. So just diving into this, so this video, it's called The Elephant, the Rider, and the Path. And I really want everyone to think about how we can increase buy-in for teachers, but also how teachers can increase buy-in for students. So we're gonna watch this video together, and then in breakout groups, we're gonna sort of take this idea of the video around mind, will, and emotion and relate that back to relationship building. So please let me know if the sound doesn't work because I'm trying this for the first time. But I will make sure that it's in full screen.
Psychologists know that there are 2 systems in our brains, the rational system and the emotional system. Jonathan Haidt, who's a psychologist at NYU, came up with a great analogy for these 2 systems. He said, think of your brain as a human rider atop an elephant. The rider represents the rational system. That's the part of us that plans and problem solves. The rider might do some analyzing and decide, hey, I want to go that way. But it's the elephant, representing the emotional system, that provides the power for the journey. The rider can try to lead the elephant or drag the elephant, but if these two ever disagree, who would you bet on? The elephant has a 6-ton weight advantage, and it's exactly that power imbalance that makes adopting new behaviors very hard. If you want this duo to head a new direction, you also need to think about the path, which represents the external environment. This duo is more likely to complete a journey if you can shorten the distance and remove any obstacles in their way. So bottom line, if you want to lead change, you've got to do 3 things. Give direction to the rider, knowledge of how to get to the destination. You've got to motivate the elephant, which means tapping into emotion. And finally, you need to shape the path to allow for easy progress. That's how change happens.
Okay, so moving right along, thinking about that video, we're going to actually now spend time in our groups, in Zoom groups. So this is my first time trying it, so bear with me here. But we're going to review these questions together. So we just want to make sure that everyone in each group at least has the link to the PowerPoint so that you guys can work through these questions and also access the research document, which, like I mentioned before, it's hyperlinked in slide 8. So you'll have both the research document and these breakout group questions. So these are some of the discussion questions we'd like you to go over. So what are you currently doing in your school to develop and maintain positive relationships? What are possible barriers, but also possible supports and solutions around that? How can we increase buy-in with staff and students? How are you communicating the importance of these relationships to parents? And how are parents supporting you? And then last but not least, what is something new that you can implement with your staff or students within your school right now? So this is really the meat of our forum where you guys get the time to interact and discuss and share things with each other. So any questions about what's happening next? And I'm gonna start working on the breakout rooms. We're going to have about 20 minutes in groups. And then when we come back together, we're going to share one highlight and or remaining question from each of the groups. And if you could please designate a note taker to take notes on each of these questions so that we can share them with Kat afterwards, and I'll provide her email at the end of this so that we can gather all of those notes and include them on our Ning platform. Okay, so we're going to do the breakout rooms in just a second here.
So I don't feel, but there are some students who don't have a whole lot of buy-in. And, you know, they're really tough kids when you get those kids. Although, you know, I think it is a matter of, okay, SEL time is a serious time. We are doing work.
Right.
But the way some of the lessons are built, it doesn't look serious to them. So they take this time as time to kind of mess around sometimes. And I think that we probably need to get firmer and more serious about, you know, this is building you as a person, and this is important work you're doing. So, but I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
I just have heard some teachers come to me and say, and the counselor is struggling with that a bit, brand new counselor.
Okay. Now, Pam, you said the middle school, was it the middle school? I'm sorry, doing the 2 times, who's doing it 2 times a week?
Well, the middle school's using School Connect and the workbooks twice a week, and then 1 day a week they're goal setting, and 1 day a week, well, they're going to start on Naviance, and they're going to start on other career awareness stuff, so that they have their CCAPs in place.
Okay.
But so they're doing 4 days a week with the counselor, but the little kids K through 4 are really only going as a breakout session once a week.
Oh, once a week.
but then the teachers were asked to please fill in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. And then actually you were leading into the segue for the next question. How are you communicating the importance of the relationships to parents? How does that fall?
We certainly, you know, at back to school night talked about SEL and what our goals are. We had conferences this week, and I had 3 parents in my office, and I was explaining the importance of the SEL program.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's so different to have someone here working with our kids. Everything's always fallen on me from, you know.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
So to have a counselor now
Mm-hmm.
is pretty cool. So, but I didn't answer your question. What was the question again?
How are you communicating to the importance of the relationships to the parents?
Yeah. So newsletters are a good way to do stuff, you know, kind of putting in updates. And we did have a family night with the No Bully group, and she was excellent. And and we had terrific participation for that. I don't know that we've really done an awful lot beyond that, but if parents call and say that their kids have some troubles with something, I immediately tell them, and they all seem to know that we do have the SEL program.
Oh, that's good.
And sometimes, you know, every week we have a little article in the once a week local newspaper. And so we've written up some stories about our SEL program there too.
Oh, that's great.
Which I should get to GSN. That would be nice. When next time we do one, I'll get a little.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So basically,
do you have any other ways that you're communicating to parents that maybe you could help me with?
Well, just like you were talking about, having the family nights and going through the PTA or PTO, those various aspects, getting them involved. And just, it's like the more the merrier that we have going out, just like you said with the newsletters. Another great way I know for the primary grades is I was suggesting to, you know how we used to pin the note on the kindergartners?
Oh, yeah.
Code to get the information out. You know, just a note, you know, SEL, what we covered today. Just that way the student can remember and they can go home and they can teach the parents what they learned today. And then
nice.
parents can give you feedback on that as well.
Okay, well, I'll bring that to the early childhood education group for sure.
Yeah, I think that would be ideal for the kindergartners going home and teaching their parents what they learned.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sounds like you have your parents on board, and that's great. And that's great that they're able to come in and talk to you during conference night about different things that's going on with SEL.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last question says, Pam, what is something new that you can implement with your staff or students within your school right now? What do you think?
You know, we used to, up until this year, have something called nesting, which the kindergartners named. And nesting was kind of at first it was once a week. And each teacher or each class would get together an SEL kind of activity.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do it with the whole school. And so, you know, maybe the word was compassion and the kids did a skit on showing compassion, or the teachers would find a video on compassion, or, you know, we were having incentives for something because everyone was, there wasn't any situations for a long time anyway. And so we used to do that nesting, and I kind of miss it. And I feel like our school is a little more fragmented than it was before we did nesting. But, you know, it takes a lot of work if you're going to be because I had each teacher sign up for a nesting time.
Oh,
3-4 times a year, and I don't know what happened, but I'm kind of missing it. And
it sounds like it would be ideal, because it's like you have that word, and everyone, each grade level and classroom builds something around. I mean, that's really nice. Compassion, what does it mean to be compassionate for others? And that theme going around the whole school, then you have different ideas and concepts that comes out of that, and you all can share that together. That seemed like that was really nice. I like that idea myself.
So, I think there was just so much time away from classrooms that, or, we burn out on doing the same thing. So a mentoring program.
Choose different words.
Oops. I think we're back with the whole group.
We're all back.
Okay, well, thank you, Pam. I'll make sure I get these to Kat.
Well, Shirley, thank you. It was great meeting you.
You too.
Helen, you're muted.
Oh, wow. Sorry about that. So I thought for the last couple of minutes, we could share out any aha moments or highlights that you have from your breakout sessions. So we'll just do another popcorn share. Whoever wants to start, go for it.
Well, I'll go. This is Pam. Can you hear me? Yeah. And I just wanted to say that I was talking with Shirley, and Shirley just confirmed for me that, we're on the right track. And that felt really good to talk to Shirley. So thank you, Shirley. And, I appreciate your input. And, we're doing a lot of things in our school. And like I say, Shirley was very, she was able to confirm that we're really on the right road.
You are welcome.
Awesome, Pam.
Hi. Hey, I know you.
Great job. It's so awesome to hear positive things.
Ashley, hi.
Hi.
Hey, anyone else from the group like to share?
I really liked the idea of tying educating parents in SEL when we have like our literacy night or our math night, because I hadn't really thought about that. So great idea to tie in that parent education and get them involved.
Nice. Thanks for sharing. Okay. Anything else?
Well, I do have bus duty in just a couple minutes, so I have to say goodbye.
That's okay, Pam. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thank you. And hopefully we talk to you next month.
Yes, we will share, and we'll share a follow-up email for you as well.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye, Pam. Okay. Any other thoughts from the groups?
Our group had a lot of positives to share. One about that SEL night that Heather Upton shared about Bennett, that they're putting together to get that parent buy-in. There was a lot of teacher buy-in, especially at Holyoke. They said there was some teachers increasing their time on their own because they wanted to spend more time in advocacy beginning and ending their day. And then they saw a lot of trust and shifting in their school because they're getting more parents coming in the building, which they didn't have before. So I think a lot of students are sharing that message at home. They're working on creating a more welcoming environment, so they're seeing that piece in there. And across the board in our group, just getting more admin buy-in, and they're kind of seeing that trickle down a little bit too to help support the teacher buy-in, and then they're seeing that school and district wide. So that was great to hear all the positive pieces.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Anna. Anyone else? Okay.
Hey, I'm going to have to go to outside duty also. I have the notes. Who do I send them to?
Yes, great question. You're going to be sending that to Kat So I will add Kat's email address in the chat box if that's okay. And then feel free to just share your notes with her. And then I'll send the follow-up email, but we'll talk a little bit about where you'll have access to that.
Okay.
Okay, that is posted in the chat.
Got it. Thank you. And yeah, if you guys can make it at a different time, we might actually have teachers, but we don't have any teachers that could be.
That would be, and before you leave, what would be a good time for teachers?
Well, it would have to be 4 or after.
Okay.
Unless you had several different days where it could be like during their plan at sometime in the afternoon.
Okay, because that's something we're working around, is just the timing to make sure we can have everyone join. So would like a 7 a.m. time be beneficial, or is that still?
I don't know that you're going to get a lot of takers at 7 a.m. But just being honest, our day starts at 7:30, so 7 a.m. probably is not going to work. But you might get some at 4 or after.
So like 4 or 4:30.
Yeah, 4, 4:10, something like that.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so to wrap up our call, I just wanted to talk a little bit about follow-up items. So if everyone could please share their notes with Kat, with the email address that I just shared in the group chat, that would be amazing. And then I'm going to share my screen again so you can see our wrap-up items. So there's a survey that I shared in one of our last emails. And so this is to just get a sense of where everyone's at in terms of the 5 advocacy goals. So I will share this out in a follow-up email, but if you don't mind just spending a couple minutes filling this out, it's just asking to rate your experience and or comfort level within the 5 areas. So for instance, today we talked about developing and maintaining relationships. In our following month, we're going to be talking about goal setting and monitoring progress. So if you could just fill that out, and then at the very end, we also ask if there are any other SEL topics that you're interested in learning more about, because we really want to structure these forums around you and what's most beneficial for the work that you're doing in the school districts. So today was more of a general call. In our upcoming meetings, we would like to have guest speakers talk about specific topics. So if any of your staff or your school district are interested in sharing on some of these topics, please let us know. Our next topic will be about the goal setting and monitoring. So if you have someone that might be interested on speaking about this topic, let us know, and we can get that set up. Our next meeting date is scheduled for November 19th, which is a Tuesday. And we just talked a little bit about what might be the best time, like around maybe 4 or 4:30. So does anyone else have like a preference on timing around the forums? Because we're going to be sort of testing it out for the next round. And I just want to get as many people involved in these forums as possible. So, yeah.
I like the 4 o'clock idea.
The 4 o'clock, okay.
Yeah.
What about for everyone else? Does that, and feel free to chat, or you can turn your speakers on.
When the last bell rings for us, and it's kind of total chaos.
Okay.
And then everybody's gone.
Okay, so 4 might not be the best time.
4 for us is not bueno.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you might not see a lot more participation from our building either. Our last bell doesn't ring until 4:05, and our buses don't depart until at least 4:15.
Okay. Okay. We have a couple people in the chat saying 4 could work. Because the other, yeah, okay. So we'll meet as a team and kind of work around the timing. But this is helpful. 3 is a good time too. Okay, from Kristen. Okay, great. Well, we'll also send out an email about timing that works for everyone, and we'll make sure to schedule something that works. And then the last thing is our resources. So we're going to be housing everything on a platform called Ming. And what it is basically like an online networking platform. And so we want to provide a space to attach like any articles or videos that we watch together as a team. We want to have that available on the forum as well. And it's great. You have an option to like have online discussions with each other. You can also like collaborate on that platform. So the next meeting will actually dive into that and make sure that everyone's registered and has an account. So don't worry, our follow-up email will have all of these things included. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Does anyone have any other questions, comments from today? Okay. Well, thank you all so much for joining today, and we look forward to seeing you guys next month.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you. All righty. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Have a good one.
Bye.